All right, here we are. Welcome back to the last episode of Behind the Blind from Kansas over Thanksgiving. And thank you, Tetra Hearing, for being the title sponsor of this podcast. Find them online at tetrahearing.com. A lot of great things that are happening with that company and a lot of new technology that is coming out in the near future. So not only check out their website, but also follow them on all of your favorite social media platforms. Eric Champlin, Logan Burditt, I can't say Justin Chaz Michaels for some reason. Chaz Michaels over there. I'm Ronnie Philips. We came, we saw, and we kicked their ass for 2 days. And then they kind of kicked ours for the last 2 days.
They got our number the last 2 days for sure.
Yeah.
Snow didn't help. Well, we thought it was going to help.
Yeah.
It should have helped. It cut our hunt short yesterday. Birds sat in the field all day long. And because of that, with the birds sitting in the field all day long, they're probably not going to come out real good until about 4:30 tonight.
And we're not going to wait that long.
No, a lot of water to water this morning. Ducks got off the river, sat back down on the river. They just weren't moving at all. And we got out of there at noon and still didn't see anything. So it's going to be an afternoon flight. And unfortunately, we have to go home.
That's right. And how butthurt are you that we did not get a chance to shoot snow geese while we were here?
I'm a team player, Ronnie.
Good answer. Mark the tape on that little drop there from Eric Champlin that he's a team player, because we're going to need to put that on the hot button for future episodes.
For the next duck hunts.
Yeah, exactly. But it was weird that the snows, we did obviously see them migrating a couple days ago, but they just seemed like they kept going south. I mean, some stopped. I mean, I think you saw, 15,000 or so maybe when you were out scouting roughly?
Yeah, that'd probably be pushing it a little bit. Somewhere between 10 and 15, but
We should probably let people know how many are normally here at this point in time.
normally around 100,000.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
And most of those that you're talking about left this morning also. So we're back down. They apparently do not like 8 inches of snow.
Yeah.
What's the minimum that you want to mess with them? 20?
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
Probably so. I don't know when I'll have that or if I will.
Yeah, it's kind of looking a little grim out there. Warm weather next week.
It's going to be rough.
It's going to be a muddy mess this week. The whole
For
state
sure.
is going to really
It's
is
gonna
going to be a muddy
disaster.
mess. But yeah, it's looking grim on the snows. It's kind of mind blowing, to be honest with you, why there's not more around right now.
It was mind-blowing to see how many we saw on the hunt, well, the last 2 days, but certainly 2 days ago, how many flew over us, and you're thinking, why are you still going?
Yeah.
Why aren't you stopping? Like, this is a good place and a typical, traditionally, it's a typically good spot for them to stop, but they just kept on going south. It's weird, but then you're looking up on social media last night, I think it was, and they're still putting up piles of snow geese in North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway,
Man of many words.
I'm tired. You wore me out over the last 4 days.
Maybe they knew the snow was coming. Maybe like 3 days ago when they were migrating, they're like, we're not stopping
you know
here.
they got to
We're about
have
to
a
get
barometer.
8
you know?
inches of snow is about to happen here.
Right.
Why would I stop here?
That's a good point.
Hey, Mo.
So I guess we'll just quickly recap what happened yesterday. We didn't do the podcast last night because there really wasn't much to talk about. Went out scouting. The scout was very, very grim. I found a spot along with Q that really wasn't all of that exciting. And so I really didn't say much about it until I got back, because I thought for sure one of you guys were going to find something better. In fact, I really thought we were going to be hunting snows the next day. And then when we found out that there weren't that many snows and you had tough luck on your scout, and Logan asked me if we found something, I'm like, yeah, kind of. And we thought that there would be an opportunity to hunt them on that pond that was surrounded by timber. But and they certainly came out. I mean, we saw a lot of geese. They just did not want to come to the water.
Yeah, I was expecting, so we knew they weren't roosting there. It's just it was surrounded by trees, not really a roost pond.
It's right next to a road, or a country road, yeah.
And it was an acre. I think there was 2 birds on there this morning.
That morning, yeah.
Or yesterday morning, sorry. But what I really thought was going to happen is they were feeding, a half mile to the east.
Right.
Basically on the other side of the road in a cornfield. I thought they were going to come to that water first thing in the morning and then start hopping out and then, trading back and forth all morning long. Well, they didn't do that. They went straight to the field, and then some of them actually went to another field that was a little bit further to the northeast. But then it started snowing, and that's really what, cut our luck. The birds sat in the field all day long yesterday, and we knew that was going to happen. It started snowing at 9. We thought the snow wasn't supposed to start happening until 2 or 3, and that's why, we wanted to hunt the water. If we knew it was going to snow, we probably would have set up in that cornfield.
Sure.
But it is what it is. We're sitting there, and it's like there's no reason to sit here any longer. It's snowing. We know it's not going to stop, and they're just going to sit there all day. And then once again, they sat there all day and then screwed us today.
Sure. Snow came in probably midday. When I say midday, it was snowing while we were hunting that morning, but it really started to come midday to where it started to accumulate. And then the plan was grab a bite to eat, come back here, maybe try to get in a quick nap. And then some friends of ours, and probably more so Champlin, had a conversation and we're having lunch together. And it just so happened that they had a spot that they were going to hunt this morning. And it was kind of an invite for us to go out there and join them. And it was cool because some of those people were people that I've known for years too, or at least their families. And the only hard part about this whole thing was then there's, I guess, a total of 13 blinds that we needed to hide 11 shooters. So we had a big group out there, and we're in the middle of a cornfield, and it just snowed, and so trying to hide all of us. But we were in a great spot, and you guys have seen, I guess when I say you, Logan and Champlin, have been looking at this spot for a couple decades.
Yeah, it's a good spot. It's a spot I've always wanted to hunt, and we've hunted around it a lot, but not that actual vicinity of those fields. And it's a good spot every year. It's the first field off the roost that they always see, and typically easy money. It's typically they're right over the trees off the roost, and they're right in the field. And I don't think the birds this morning were seeing us. We didn't see many birds. First off, we didn't see very many birds at all. We worked some birds good. I don't think that they were wanting to eat. Like we had 2 or 3 groups this morning that just stayed out in front of us, didn't even give us a look, and those birds aren't going anywhere else. They're going to that field. They hadn't been there. They weren't even there 3 days ago because it's a cold weather spot, right? Right. They start congregating on that roost as soon as it starts getting colder, and that's typically the first field that they hit. At least it has been for like the last 15 years.
Sure.
And so, we wanted, to utilize that snow, and the wind was wrong for the field. You could have set up on a pivot and maybe done things a little bit different, but the best option was layouts.
Sure.
And I don't think they were seeing us. But it would have been better to be, off one of those pivots in a panel blind, throwing snow on the side of those.
Yeah.
Than it would have been to lay out. But with the wind today out of the west, we just didn't have any option. Like you just had to do that. And also, we didn't want them birds coming over top of us, right? In the panel blinds. That was the big kick. The biggest part of why we didn't want to do that is because there's so much snow on the ground. Everything's white, and for us to sit where we wanted to off that pivot, they would have had to fly right over us, and they would have just seen one giant black hole.
Right.
And we didn't feel like that was going to be, in the best interest of what we did. And today worked out, right? We finished some birds.
We did.
It wasn't anything spectacular. We shot 13, 14.
Yeah, 14.
So for what it was, I don't think it was that bad.
No.
If the birds would have came out and we would have seen all the birds, we didn't even have a duck come out in the field this morning.
No, I noticed that quickly.
So it is what it is. It's part of it. They sat all day yesterday. They didn't want to eat right now.
Yeah.
We got to go home, unfortunately.
Like you were saying, about not eating. I think the birds that we did see and that we got to work are just birds that we caught going from
water to water,
the big water to the river, and we're in between there.
Yep.
But all you can do is try.
That's it.
We set up where they were the night before.
Yeah, I guess my opinion of it was maybe a little bit different than yours, and you got a valid argument. Is I felt like they weren't necessarily flaring, but they were getting to that like 60-yard, 80-yard, and they're just kind of and started to rise. Like something just didn't seem right. I think though that had they not fed all day and they were hungry, they would have been in there. They would have done it, right? Yeah. Like the hunger would have overcome the something that maybe didn't look that right. Now, I don't think we look terrible by any means, but considering the circumstances and how many blinds that we had out there, I'm sure it didn't look exactly, you know what I mean? Like it had to look a little bit off.
Yeah.
But when you're not that hungry and you've ate all day and you're coming off and you're looking at it and they hear the calling, they see the decoys, they're going to come check it out, and they get to 60, 80 yards. You're not that hungry and something doesn't look right, just that slow little rise, and they're moving on.
Yep. You know, I really thought we would have seen a bunch more birds today.
That is true.
What I was thinking was going to happen with how much it did snow is these birds are going to want to get out and lay in the field and melt this snow because they don't obviously want to search for it. But apparently them sitting all day kind of overcame that. They didn't really need to come out this morning.
Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty much going to wrap up the trip. Chaz, when are you back on another Heartland Waterfowl trip?
Salt Plains.
Salt Plains. So you're going to be on the next one.
Salt Plains.
Salt Plains. We're not going to Salt Plains.
I don't know when we're going there.
We're not.
No.
We're not.
Okay.
No.
Oklahoma.
The Salt Plains of Oklahoma.
No.
We are going to the Salt Plains of Oklahoma.
Salt Plains is in Anthony, Kansas.
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying the next trip is Oklahoma.
right.
So I'm off.
But
I'm off those dates.
You just got the outfitters mixed up, is what
Yes,
the problem is.
I'm tired
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I'm sick.
So the next trip is
Oh, Dakota was just
at Salt
filming some
Plains.
stuff for Salt Plains. That's
Right.
where you
Oh,
got that.
okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But Logan, would you like to announce where we're going to be next?
We are hunting with S-Bar Outfitters, and they are in
Hobart.
somewhere Oklahoma. I don't really
Did you
know.
say Hobart?
No, just a couple buddies that have known us for a long time. We've never actually been down and hunted with them, but finally got something to work, and man, they've been shooting them. They got lessers down there right now galore, so hopefully there's another cold front, push some more ducks down there, because I know they're jonesing to get us on some ducks in a peanut field, a couple peanut fields.
That's something I've never done.
Yep. So we're hoping to do that, and it's going to be a lesser mallard shoot.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to retune the calls.
And that trip is going to be like roughly second week of December, right?
Yeah. We leave.
I think on the 10th. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it sounds right.
Right.
Is it the 10th of Sunday? We leave on a Sunday. I know that. Yeah.
There you go. So it is the 10th. All right, cool. So Chaz will be back then for all of you Chaz Michaels fans who are wanting to know how you can join the Chaz Michaels fan club. The website is pending. He's got a whole new line of merch that could be coming out any day now, and we're really excited to see that, aren't we, Chaz?
Super excited. Champlin, thank you, man.
Yeah, no, that's how I wanted to end this. Not only thank you to Eric Champlin, but Allison, his wife.
Talking about him.
It was great to hang out with Deke also, who's just crazy to see how much he's grown up over the last few years, and every year gets gosh dang, what is he, 11? Is he 11 now?
Yeah.
Just a dead eye shot. So
I mean, you don't even have to ask him; he'll tell you. You got one over shot. I shot 3.
So it's always been a cool tradition to come out here over Thanksgiving. I know it's a huge sacrifice for you and your family to accommodate us, but it's always a great time. We look forward to it. So genuinely, from the bottom of our heart, thank you for having us, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Anytime.
Yeah, cool.
We'll be back soon.
Yep. All right. So as we wrap this up, make sure you check back. Make sure you subscribe to this and like and comment and all this stuff. Hope to have a prize for you next trip that we do here on the December 10th. And thank you again, Tetra Hearing, for being the title sponsor of Behind the Blind. Check them out online, tetrahearing.com. Eric Champlin, Logan Burditt, Chaz Michaels. I'm Ronnie Philips. Thanks for checking out Behind the Blind on YouTube and all of your favorite podcast platforms. And thank you, Q, for producing.
Thanks, Q. You're the real hero.